Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to make an animal identification key. So to do that, you're going to start somewhere on your paper. It doesn't matter where. I'm just going to kind of start here in the middle. And I'm going to say frogs and toads of Michigan. So basically what I'm creating is a flow chart that anybody could follow to identify a frog. So if I brought you a frog or a toad that I caught here in Michigan and brought this flow chart to you, you should be able to use this starting right here in the middle to figure out what kind it is. So for starters, you want to split things into 2 to 3 groups. So I'm going to go 2 groups. I'm going to say dry skin and moist skin. And so you'll notice I'm putting labels on my arrows. Now my arrow over here is going to split because there's 2 frogs in Michigan that have dry skin. I take it back, they're actually toads. This one has 3 warts per spot, and this one has less than 3 warts per spot. Now I could have drawn this a little neater, but I'm just trying to give you a quick little rough draft. So if I go this way, the one with 3 warts per spot will go right here. The one with less than 3 will go right there. This guy is the Fowler's toad. So if I were doing this on the computer, instead of making a circle here with a name in it, I would put the actual picture of a Fowler's toad, and then it would have a label underneath it, so I'd know what it was. Up here is the Eastern American toad, and again, picture, label. So basically, if I brought you a toad, you'd start in the middle and say, oh, he's got dry skin. Count the warts in each spot. Oh, he has 3 or more. It must be an Eastern American toad. And then there's a little picture there to help you be like, oh, yep, that's definitely what I have. Now, if it has moist skin, I'm going to go to a different characteristic. We're going to go, let's go with size. To use size, you have to find something that they're not even close in terms of their sizes. So, for example, like if you had 2 frogs, one's 4 inches long and one's 4.5 inches long, that's not a very good way to decide because that's pretty close. But if I have something that's over 4 inches long and under 2 inches long, that's a pretty good separation. And in fact, there's 3 frogs of Michigan that are under 2 inches long, and I could come up with characteristics. One has 3 lines on his back, one has an X on his back, and the other one has a triangle above his eyes. I'd put my pictures in, I'd put my labels in. Now up here, I've got about 6 more frogs. So I'm not going to put 6 arrows because that's really hard to distinguish and I'd have to read them all. So each time, you don't want to do more than 2 or 3 groups. So I'd have to take my larger frogs and split them into, we'll just say 2 groups. Those that have something called a dorsolateral fold on their back, and those that don't. And again, you kind of have to spell that out. Then out of those that do have the dorsolateral fold, you'd have to split them into 2 or 3 groups. And again, label each arrow until you get to each frog. And hopefully that should give you an idea on how to get this done. So what you're going to be doing today is you are going to do the same thing I just did, except for you're going to do it for woodpeckers found in Michigan. Now, we colored these the other day, or you created a slideshow for them, so you should have an idea how to identify them. There are 6, so start by putting this in 2 groups or 3 groups, and then keep splitting those up. Again, remember, I'm looking for arrows with words on them, and the arrows should end in a picture with a label telling me it's an Eastern American toad, or a Fowler's toad, or a cricket frog, or a chorus frog. Okay? So you're going to do woodpeckers for one assignment. Assignment number 2 is going to be some winter songbirds. So I'm going to write winter songbirds here. Now, the list that we used had what, 32, 34? That would be ridiculous. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to just pick 10 at random. You know, like go every 3rd bird, like start here and just go every 3rd and put a little mark next to them. We're just trying to get a random assortment. It makes this a little easier. If you pick like all the sparrows, it's going to be really hard. Or lots of similar ones. So just go at random, you know, start here and go every other, start and go every 3rd. I don't care, every 5th. Just do a random thing. I want you to do it for 10 birds. Okay? So, woodpeckers is going to have all 6. This one, you're going to just choose 10 birds and create it. Now, I would like you to do this on the computer using Google Slides, or you could do it on paper, but I really want there to be pictures in there. So unless you have the ability to print out the pictures, which seems kind of crazy. Oh, hey, I have an idea. What if you drew it all out on paper nice and neat, then you took a picture of it, put that picture in as like the background in a Google slide, then you can insert pictures of the actual critters right over top of it. That might not be a bad idea. Anyway, I bet you'll come up with some great way to do it. So that is your assignment. If you have questions, please feel free to let me know, and I can explain even more. Hope you're having a great day today.